Hello, dear students. Welcome back again. We are done with Sangam era or Sangam period. Now, there are some things left in this very topic, which I'll be covering in this video and the next one that's coming after this. Okay. So, the majority of the portion of the basics is done. Now, in this very lecture, we are going to discuss about the Sangam literature. Okay. The literature that came from the Sangam era or the Sangam period. Okay. So, generally, these Sangams. Okay, sangams, these were nothing but they were the academies. Okay, academies, and these sangams were held at different locations. Okay, and it was mostly during the time of Pandyas. Okay, Pandyas, and during the time of Pandyas and mostly in Madurai. Okay, Madurai, which was also the capital of Pandyas. It was here these sangams were kind of discussed, and later the literature that came out of them led to the literature which we currently know as the Tamil literature. Okay, Tamil literature. Now, what are the important works here? The first important work, or we can say the ancient examples of the Tamil work, is this Tolkappiyam. Okay, and this Tolkappiyam is written by Tolkappiyar, and this mostly discusses the grammar. Okay, the grammar of the language. But later, not in that the entire portion is covered with grammar. Some of the portion is also covering the socio-political conditions during the times of Sangam age or during the time of Sangam era, and from that very perspective, this Tolkappiyam becomes very important work. Okay, the second work that is very important is this Itu Togai. Okay, this Itu Togai is actually a combination of 8 anthologies. Okay, it means there are 8 books inside this anthology or inside this major work, and these 8 anthologies are also important as per the Sangam literature is concerned. Okay, now the third work that is important is the Pattu Pattu, and this Pattu Pattu is actually an idyll. Okay, what is an idyll? Idyll is actually a piece of writing. Okay, it is a piece of writing, and this piece of writing can be in any form. For example, it is written in prose, or it may be written in poetry or verse. Okay, poetry or verse. Now, this writing actually, what does it do? It actually defines or kind of depicts a picturesque scene. Okay, is this this kind of piece of writing defines or depicts a picturesque scene, and this picturesque scene, in the form of a prose or in the form of poetry or in any form of writing, it's called an idyll. Okay, and this Patu Patu is also the example of an idyll. Now, the fourth work that is important as per the Sangam literature is concerned is this Pathin Kil Kannaku. Okay, this Pathin Kil Kannaku is also a major work, and inside it are some minor works, and it is counted that there are some 18 works inside it. And this Pathil Kel Kannaku, these books are about the ethics and morals. Okay, they tell us about the moral code and etiquettes. Okay, and among these 18 books, this one book that is called Tirukural, that stands out as prominent one, and this book is written by Thiruvalluvar. Okay, now these were some of the major works. Now, also Sangam literature, is accompanied by two epics of that time. No, these two epics are Sila Pathikaram. Okay, and the Sila Pathikaram is written by Ilango Idigal. Okay, I hope you remember this name. And the another epic that is known as Mani Megalai, and this Mani Megalai is written by Sitalai Setanar. Okay, or Sitalai Satanar. Okay, whatever you pronounce it. Okay, I don't know the native pronunciation, maybe how Tamilians would be pronouncing it, but I'm trying my best. Okay, now this was the literature. Okay, now we will jump to the economy of the Sangam period. Okay, so as we see that during the time of Gupta's major source of revenue was agriculture. Okay, same applies here. Here also the main source of economy is agriculture, and all the revenue that was generated was mostly coming from agriculture. And the rice, was the staple crop, means where rice was grown on a large scale. Okay, now I already told you that these this Sangam period or the Chira Cholas and Pandyas were very famous for their ports. Okay, they were very famous for their ports, and this trade port stands out, which is called as Puhar. Okay, and Puhar was actually founded by Karikala. Okay, Karikala was from Cholas. Okay, and this Puhar is very important port because this was the major commercial port, and the trade that was going on was going through this port. Okay, and what was actually the main source of economy apart from the agriculture? I'll tell you an interesting fact. Actually, this Indian peninsula, as you know, or the Deccan simply, is rich in black soil. Okay, it is rich in black soil, and you must have read it in geography that this is rich in black soil, and due to that fact, the cotton growth is very rich. Okay, cotton growth is very rich, means majority of the cotton that is produced in India comes from the Indian peninsula because of the black soil. Same was the case at that time. Okay, so these at the time of Sangam period, this cotton was very famous, cotton of India, and or the cotton of South India, and also the silk was weaved. So these two fabrics were weaved, mostly cotton, and it was traded to Romans and Arabs. Okay, and it was exported, and in return of that, the things which were imported were horses, gold, and wine. Okay, wine was one of them, and also they used to trade with other kind of other things that were spices, because in the southern part spices were very famous, like cinnamon, cardamom, and the other spices that are there. And also they used to trade in cotton, ivory, and also pearls, because the ocean was also near, so the pearl trade was also there. Okay, so this is it. This was a short video on economy of Sangam period and the major literature. I hope you have understood it, and I'll be finishing it with one more lecture, and that will be the end of Sangam era completely. Okay, I hope you have understood, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next lecture.